Welcome in, everyone. This is episode 14 of Paperhats Season 3. I'm Dr. Jankovich. Today, I'm starting this video out at the Christmas district. Now, it is the day after Christmas at the time of this recording, so I guess we can consider this the winter district. There's still plenty of things to do and enjoy on this island, so, you know, it's not over yet. We still have many more months of winter to come. However, after making all that fuss about the Christmas district, we are actually going to spend most of our time over at my base today. There's a few things that I've been putting off in order to get some of the projects over here done, and I want to go ahead and get them done today. Specifically that... Oh, camera's gone wonky. Specifically, I want to get my cow farm up and going because these 28 golden carrots I have in my hotbar, that's the last bit of food I have. Now, I could go buy some from somebody, but I have spent so many diamonds lately, off camera, of course. I usually don't make a big deal when I spend all my money. But we're running relatively low on diamonds, so I want to go ahead and get a way to get some stakes going. And we're going to make it look good, too. So that's priority number one. I made it to my portal, and just to warn you, it's not looking good these days. A while back, I had it all organized, but there is a pretty scary shulker monster coming up. Oh my goodness, look at it. I mean, it could definitely be worse, but it's just... the fact that I have to go through all these boxes and sort it all out into that storage system, it just kills me every time I walk through that portal. Look at that. Much, much better. Got all the shulker boxes cleaned up, completed the path here finally, so it's not just grass and messy stuff here. So let me show you where we are going to put the cow farm. Walking down this path here, we have our storage system, which is still Christmas chest, even though it's the day after Christmas. You know, I'm not really sure when they switch back over, but that's cool. You only see that one time of the year, so I'm happy to see that. So over here, I've been kind of scoping out the area. It looks like if you kind of go off path here, travel over here, there's a little bit of a flat spot. Of course, it's obviously not flat now, but you can see the stone there is kind of flat. I can clear that grass out. And I have a really cool design in the back of my mind of just a cow face. What it's gonna do is make a reference back to the prank that Dakota did on us earlier in the season. Oh, and Dan the Noodle Man, he helped as well. They put a creeper face on my base here and had some explosions going on in the back. But I thought it would be cool to take that idea and have another face over here of a cow. And it's just going to make it look like a really Minecrafty, interesting part of the base. And anything that I can do to avoid having to terraform a lot of this mountainside, I'm absolutely going to opt for, because that's kind of a pain to get up under this path, place a bunch of stone blocks and texture all that. So if I can put a build here, that's going to help me out in the long run. First thing I need to do is grab some dirt and get a path sort of started over to the area where we're going to actually build the farm. Alright, and now I am using my free cam from a mod called Tweakaroo. It's going to help me sort of survey the area that I've sort of messed with now. So I got the path sort of flattened out. This is going to be a really good platform to build that path. And under here, I've got to do a little bit of terraforming to mix this overhang in with the terrain, but that is going to be no trouble at all. This line of dirt here is actually the width of the build, so I am going to push it as far back as I can, probably a few blocks away from the mountain here, and then put that there. So, as usual, let me quit my rambling, and we're going to get this time-lapse going. And look at that. That looks amazing. Now, one thing that I didn't really intend for is the bottom of the horn here is blending in with the background. Otherwise, it's looking great. That is definitely a cow head. I can't complain about it. It really does go with the aesthetic now. I've got the creeper and the cow over here. One thing you may notice about this cow head is it has a black border around it, and that actually has a purpose. You may not be able to see it yet, but if you go back here, it's actually the entrance. I wanted it to be a seamless entrance. Not that I'm trying to be secretive about it, but I didn't want you to see all of the things that are going back here, the actual farm things. I just wanted this to be a really decorative facade for this build, so I think it turned out great. With that being said, it is time to actually work on what is behind the facade. So the actual functionality part of it. I really don't know which aesthetic I want to go for, so I'm going to have to sit down with a couple different block palettes, plan that out, and I will meet you back here when I'm done. So this doesn't look like a whole lot, but I think it's enough for me to go on. It's not really a complicated block palette, but I'm going to have stripped Bruce log floors, and then over here, sort of hidden by the floorboards, I'm just going to have pearlescent frog lights with a piece of purple glass on top, and then I'm using blue terracotta and what do you call this? Polished basalt. I thought the word pillar was in there somewhere, but no, that's polished basalt. That's just going to line the walls, and I'm just going to keep that same theme all in four corners. It's just a cow farm, so it doesn't have to be too extravagant, but I do want the interior to look nice. I don't want to just keep it stone. So let me go ahead and fill all this out, and we'll meet back here and see how it looks when it's all done. Okay, I think this turned out excellent. Just don't look up. We'll do the ceiling in just a minute. But I've went ahead and laid out where I want both cow farms. That is right. I do want two, because we're going to have two double chests. And this is just going to be something while I'm working on other things around the base. I'll pop on over and breed the cows up, let them do their thing. I don't really need a sorting system or anything, because it's just leather and beef. So I can just, once these chests fill up, I can just organize them manually. So not a big deal at all. And it keeps it more simple here. So I did dig out some space underneath here, just a few blocks, just to give me a little bit of room to do all the redstone. It's going to be really simple. We just need to put down some hoppers to get the items up to those chests, and that's pretty much it. All right, this thing should be fully functional as long as we get the cows in there. This is super simple. If you're not familiar with what a cow crusher is, basically you have cows down here, and they'll eventually hit the spawn cap for each block, which is 24. And what you'll do is hit this button. It'll fill it with water, which in the future, when we have cows in there, there will be a fence over the top so they won't actually bounce out, but they'll bounce up and down so you can hold wheat and breed them. When new cows breed, it will kill off the bigger ones, therefore producing steak and leather. And then I just have a hopper system going behind these chests, and then a dropper lift system that'll carry these items all the way up and put them into these chests here. So super simple. Didn't take very long at all to get the redstone hooked up. Now it's for the hard part. We've got to go drag these cows over here and get them into their respective holes here. Now, in order to do this, I have put down a temporary track. I'm just going to lead them over here, get them into a minecart, and just cart them in here and then block their path. And then from then, I can start breeding them up. So we have 2 per chamber. And then it should be all good. Let's go see how it goes. Alrighty, guys. You are coming with me. Oh, I might let my ocelot go. Oh, no. Blake. Okay. Good. Blake didn't escape. All right, Bull Gates and Bessie, you're coming with me. Unfortunately, I think these 2 cows that are named will eventually perish in the farm, but that is just a sacrifice I am willing to take. So, all right, they're tied to that pole for now. Let me make sure I have a minecart. All right, cool. There's one. Let's get the second one. Come on now. Gonna nudge you with that way a little bit. Oh, don't you walk back over there. Oh, no. Alrighty. Awesome. So they're both in here. Let's break the rail. Actually, there is one more thing I forgot about. We can't... Well, I'm just going to leave them in the minecarts for now. I can't believe I forgot about this. We need a way to get wheat, and fast. So we're going to make a little micro wheat farm. I'm just going to hide it away. Where is a good way to hide this? There we go. That is a really hidden doorway, and we'll just sort of clear out a space in here. I'm not going to decorate this because it's literally just going to be a micro wheat farm. So I may use this a couple of times to get a few shulkers of wheat. I don't think we'll really use that much wheat in this farm. I mean, if I get a few shulkers, that may very well set me up until the end of the season. So I'm not going to worry about decorating a little wheat farm room. Okay, so past this little hidden doorway here, I've made the little micro wheat farm, and the reason I'm in free cam right now is because when you are a first person up against this machine, it is very jarring. So I can actually control my player while I'm in this mode, so all you do is hold down right click, and as you can see in my hotbar, I am getting a ton of wheat. That is because you need 3 bone meal to fully grow some seeds, and I've got 3 dispensers going off at the exact same time, and then when the piston closes, the light level isn't high enough to let the wheat stay there, so it breaks, and therefore I pick up the wheat. So it's a really nice little farm. I definitely recommend one. So I've been farming wheat for a few minutes, and I walked outside to find something very interesting. Apparently, if you put an animal in a minecart while they're tied to a fence here, the model stays as if the lead is still on the fence post. That may be a good decoration idea for somebody. So back to business here. I have the cows locked up. There's no way they can escape, and it is time to breed up a couple and then put 2 in each of these little ponds here. Okay, buddy. Work with me here. Great. Fantastic. All right, the worst thing that can happen here is I get 1 extra one in each side. All right, Bessie, you're being difficult here. Come on now, get in there. There we go. All right, buddy. Oh my goodness, that was close. That was close. All right, you are not doing that today. You are not doing that. In fact, wow, that could not have been more perfect. He was heading straight there, dang. Oh, I don't know if they're programmed to stick around their parents or what. I may have to grow this guy up. Why are you being so difficult? By the way, if you're ever trying to grow up a cow quickly, wait just a couple seconds before you hit them with wheat because it takes them down by 10% each time. So there's no real reason to spam them. You'll end up wasting wheat that way. All right. We'll see if this guy's calmed down any. Absolutely fantastic. We managed to get 2 in each one, and there are the fence posts. So when I hit this button, they're not ever going to bounce out. So as those guys are calming down, in about 5 minutes, I think I can breed them up officially and start the farm. Well, start growing their population so we can eventually start farming them. In the meantime, though, I want to figure out this ceiling situation. So let me just start up a time lapse again. You'll sort of get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. Well, scratch that time lapse. I thought about it. I thought the dark oak trapdoors just connecting all the pillars would look a little bit better, and I think it does. I was gonna go with kind of like popcorn ceilings, if you've ever seen that, but I don't know. I think this looks good, and there's no real reason to light it up. Your attention doesn't go up to the ceiling. It stays right here where all the work is. So I think it's perfect. I'm happy with it. We are in full production here at the cow farm. As you can see behind me, I made an addition. I put a couple smokers here so I can actually smelt the beef that we get from the cows as I'm AFKing. Now this is a semi-AFK farm, I guess you could say, because I'm still having to breed up the cows every 5 minutes or so. The other addition I did is I put a couple doors here because I did have an incident where I got defeated by a zombie, unfortunately. So that is going to save me a lot of grief in the future. But yeah, looking great. It's working great. Now the only thing left to do is to actually blend it into the world. We've got a path to build. We've got a staircase to build. And we sort of have to clean up the edges around there on the mountain. So I think that deserves a time lapse. Well, I think that turned out great. We got it sort of blended into the world. I just sort of connected the stone to the sides here, so it wasn't so much out of place. I kept with the black borders on the side here just to keep it symmetrical. And it also keeps your mind off the fact that there are doorways in some of these edges here. I went with a real simple way to blend this bottom part in. I just have a bit of a gradient. The deep slate tiles all the way to cobblestone and cobbled deep slate in the middle. I think it's simple but effective. And of course, the path pattern that was here, I just copied on over here and scaled it up a bit. But all in all, I think this is a great addition to the base. What do you guys think? And now I have an unlimited supply of food. I just have to AFK here and make it, of course, but hey, steak is supposed to be the best survival food in the game. But unfortunately, that is all the time I have left for this video. It is getting quite long as it is, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. It really does help me out with YouTube algorithm. And if you're not subscribed just yet, I do encourage you to do so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And guys, I will see you for episode 15 of Paperhats Season 3. Thanks so much.